Stop trying to figure out what you can teach people in your content and instead ask yourself, what do people need? My ideal audience. What does my ideal audience need to hear or learn or understand more deeply to feel ready to buy my paid offer?
Welcome to the Goalbusters Expert Peak Productivity Tips podcast, where top business experts get just 7 minutes to answer 5 rapid-fire questions about what they do and how they stay productive.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Robin J. Emden, and I'm an accountability coach and the author of Get Resultsology, The Science of Getting Stuff Done. I work with people who run their own business, no boss, distractions everywhere, and never enough hours left in the day. Together, we cut through the noise, sharpen their focus, and follow through on the big ideas that actually move the needle. That's what I call the momentum formula. Do it today, profit tomorrow, and repeat. So, if that sounds like the kind of breakthrough that you've been looking for, then you're in exactly the right place. And speaking of being in exactly the right place, I am delighted to welcome our guest expert today, Jana Osofsky. Jana is a content strategist for coaches, practitioners, and service providers. Her program, High Leverage Content, helps you spend less time feeding the insatiable social media monster, I identify with that, and prioritize creating evergreen blog content that serves as a 24/7 salesperson for your business. Jana, welcome to Goalbusters.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're extremely welcome. Whereabouts in the world are you, Jana?
I am in sunny, not so sunny today, but South Florida, usually sunny.
Oh, well, it sounds a bit British then, really.
Yeah, today it is.
Yes. South Florida, beautiful part of the world, whether it's sunny or not. Perhaps not so nice if it's hurricane-y, but it's hurricane-y, but it's not that time of year. So shall we move on? Because I'm waffling. Shall we do the questions instead?
Okay,
Yeah,
let's do it.
those. I'll get the clock up on the screen. And there it goes. Jana, could you tell me, please, who is your ideal client?
Yeah, so I work with primarily service-based businesses. So typically that is online service providers and coaches of all sorts, B2B and B2C coaches. Inside my program that you mentioned, High Leverage Content, we build a capsule blog library. So rather than blogging forever, we build a capsule library, kind of like a capsule wardrobe, of 12 to 20 blog posts that cover the key things that their audience needs to feel ready to buy. And so service-based businesses are the ones that I really focus on in that program.
Oh, that sounds very interesting. So what exactly then is the problem or the problems that you're solving for these clients?
Yeah, I think that generally speaking, obviously there's nuance, but my students usually fall into one of two categories when they've joined the program, and they join because either A, they feel like they're on a content treadmill where they've just been putting out tons and tons of content. Sometimes that's on social media or other places, and they want to really pull that back and be more strategic and create less content but better, which is the capsule library that we do. We're very intentional about what we're creating. And then the other type of people that join, they come in order to solve this problem that they have, that they're not very visible at all because they don't really feel like they know what to say in their content to get people buying their offers. And so they kind of just don't do it. Like they opt out, but they know that's keeping them invisible. So they join to figure out what they should put in their content to get people buying and then to create that content. So.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's excellent. Thank you so much. All right. So now that we have a little bit of a better idea about what you do, and I do say it's a little bit because I haven't given you much time, what is one valuable free action that the audience can implement that will help them to solve this problem for themselves?
Yeah, I always recommend that people grab a sticky note or however that is for your business and write down this idea when it comes to creating content. And you can use this literally the next time you go to create content. Stop trying to figure out what you can teach people in your content and instead ask yourself, what do people need? My ideal audience. What does my ideal audience need to hear or learn or understand more deeply to feel ready to buy my paid offer? And create content based on that. Sometimes there's overlap between those two things, but we want to be coming at it from that lens versus just teaching people something or trying to, just put out the best educational content that we can.
Yeah, because I think your key underlying underpinning point about that is you could go on
Mhm.
forever churning out content, and that's
You
not
sure could.
a few people that they want that, but most people, they just want to know what you do and what you can do for them.
Right. What's in it for them?
Yes,
Hmm.
exactly. All right. So now that okay, so now that we have an even better understanding of what you do, and still not much of a better understanding because that's my fault because I only give you 3 minutes or so. Let's dive briefly into goal busting, which is focusing on how to maximize productive time to achieve your business goals. Jana, could you share any tips or advice for someone looking to improve their productivity habits over and above the excellent idea that you have that already is playing its part in that?
Yeah, I think, and by the way, I want to take a second to say that I'm proud of myself for being able to do this in 7 minutes because I'm a long form content gal, so I'm really truncating things here. I would say one of the things I talk about a lot in my content, and one of the things I teach my students is that repetition in your content is actually what gets people trusting you and knowing who you are and what you do and buying from you. So instead of always feeling like you have to put out new ideas all the time to stay relevant, that's kind of like influencer thinking. We're not influencers, we're people who actually just want people to be buying our paid offers, our services in most cases. So repeating yourself in your content is great. And the thing is that the other big benefit of that is that you can do a lot of content repurposing. And when you're repurposing from a bank of content that's strategic to begin with, which is why we create a capsule blog library with highly strategic content, that becomes, easy and also works better. So I would say my favorite productivity hack is doing a lot of content repurposing. And we do it because it's productive and saves time, but we also do it because it's literally the thing we need to be doing to get people feeling ready to buy our offers. So repeat your content, repurpose
Yes,
your
because
content.
repetition is the mother of learning, and you want your potential clients to learn
Yeah,
exactly what your offer is. And you really don't need to keep telling them new stuff. You just need to tell them
right.
enough.
Right.
Yeah.
In fact, that kind of backfires sometimes. You can give people whiplash if you're constantly throwing out new ideas and whatnot.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I've still got the painful neck from following a lot of other people online, so I completely understand what you're saying. Jana, that's brilliant. So finally, what should I have asked you today that I didn't? And your answer, please.
I think that the big thing that comes up for a lot of people is they say, isn't blogging a lot of work? Like, having a blog seems like it's like this whole big thing, and I'm already so busy with Instagram or I'm already so busy with LinkedIn, I can hardly keep up with what I'm doing already. And, my answer to that when people talk about that is the way we think about writing a blog is not the way that you're not a blogger, right? You're not going to become a blogger where now you have to blog every week or every month for the rest of your darn life. And we also come at this as service-based businesses from the perspective of we're going to write a capsule blog, we're going to write a good quality blog, a collection, a library of posts once, and then reuse and repeat it. And we also focus on really like the 20% of the work on a blog that does the 80%, gives you the 80% of the results in the sense that we focus on the words and making sure that we're really getting across what people need to feel ready to buy. We don't worry about the formatting. We don't do a lot of fancy blog formatting or anything like that. So if you remember that you're not having a blog that is for your business is different than having a blog as a business. And so don't fool yourself into thinking that now you're becoming a blogger if you have a blog. This is just something that you do in your business in order to create a source of truth that you can leverage and repurpose from for months and years. So it's really not as much work as people think it is. So
Yes,
I would say
and
that.
I'm almost hesitant to say it, but I'll say it with a rider. In the age of AI, it's easier to write. That said, don't rely on the AI because everybody is churning out the same content, and that's no good. But
Yeah,
as a
yeah.
way of perhaps refining your key messages,
Yep.
it is a huge time saver.
Yep, definitely. We're using it in our blog writing to save time, but not, like you said, letting it replace our thought leadership. Yep,
No, that's right. And that's the mistake an awful lot of people are making. Thank goodness, bless them, because they make the people that don't do that stand out even more.
that's right. You got it.
All right, brilliant. Look at that. We did that in exactly 7 minutes. Fantastic. And well done. You can pat yourself on the back because I know you are. You've said how proud you are of doing that. Jana, thank you so much. Now, at this point, I always ask one more question. It is a two-parter. Part 1 is how can people reach you if they would like to find out more? And part 2 is, do you have like a valuable free resource that they can get from you? And as I always say, being British, it's a bit cheeky asking for a freebie, but I'm not really. I'm being quite serious. I'm pointing out that it is valuable and it's a resource, and it's a way that people can find out more about what you do, which makes them feel more confident and comfortable about contacting you and saying, yes, you've got exactly what I need.
Yes, for sure. Yep. So you can find me on my website, which is janaomedia.com. So JANAO and then the word media.com. And if you go to janaomedia.com / right? Free blog training, you'll find my free blog training. It's the training that I teach that I show you. We're inside the training that I teach that I show you. The capsule blog library strategy that I teach to my students. So we talk about things like how to choose topics for your capsule blog library, how a capsule blog library works, where, how often, when, etc. you'd be repurposing and leveraging it once you build it, things like that. So I teach that inside that free training, and it's really the best place, like you said, to learn more about that and learn my teaching style and really kind of come into my world and learn from me. So, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Genuinely, I love the concept of the blog capsule and the limited number of blogs that you really need to cover and get your message across. That is actually quite freeing as a concept. And I love that that's what you're doing. Yeah, I speak from bitter experience, you can probably tell. Because you could just put your nose to the grindstone and churn out blogs ad infinitum, and you don't see any benefit from that at all. But only more benefit than you would get from just targeted blogs in the way that you're describing. And I'm not going to get any more into detail on that because I'm not the expert. Jana is. Get in touch with her, everybody. Jana,
but you're right. The expert here telling you are exactly correct.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
I feel better now. Yes, it's a smug face. Right, okay. Jana Osofsky, thank you so much for appearing on Goalbusters today. It's been an absolute delight and pleasure to have you here.
Likewise.
And remember, everybody, keep goal busting and make your future self proud. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Goalbusters. If you're enjoying it, please subscribe, rate and review it on your favourite podcast platform. Your support is very much appreciated. And if you're ready to boost your online profits, skyrocket your productivity, crush procrastination, and see a positive change in your bank balance, all within just 30 days, this is your opportunity. Take my free 5-day challenge at www.skyrocketyourproductivitychallenge.com.